Hey, fourth grade. I am so excited to be here today to talk to you about area and perimeter. Some of this might be a little bit of a review and some of it might be new to you. So just kind of bear with us as we go through some of these beginning things. So the first target I want to talk about is I can find the perimeter of a rectangle. Now, I've put this little person on here because some kids get confused with area and perimeter. So I always like to think about perimeter person would be the person that wants to travel all the way around the outside of the shape. And so we need to figure out how far perimeter person has to go to travel on the outside of the shape. There are a couple different strategies, and one that you might have started with when you first learned perimeter is to just count because they were put on this grid paper to help you. So counting each side. Now, as we get older and we work with problems where we don't have the grid paper or we just want to be more efficient, we learned some different formulas. So the first formula that I want to go through is length plus width plus length plus width. So that is like taking the length here, 4, plus 7, plus 4, plus 7. So when we do that, we end up with 22 units. Okay? Now, it says units here. If it were to say centimeters or inches, whatever you were measuring in, you would want to make sure that your label of your answer matches that. So that's one formula you could use. Another formula is thinking about taking 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. And the reason this works is because what we know about rectangles is that opposite sides have to be the same. So if this side equals 7 units, then this side must equal 7 units. If this side equals 4 units, this side must equal 4 units. So when we do that, we would take 2 times 4, because there's 2 sides that have 4 units, plus 2 times 7, because there's 2 sides that have 7 units of length. That would be 8 plus 14, giving us that same answer of 22 units. The final strategy or formula that I'm going to talk about is thinking about taking 2 times the length plus the width. So first you would take the length plus the width and then multiply that by 2. Because I know that if I'm thinking about the length and the width together, that gives me half of the shape. So when I multiply it by 2, I have the other half of the shape. So it looks like this. I have 4 plus 7, and then I multiply that number by 2. So it's 2 times 11. It gives me 22 units, the same answer. So now I would like you to take some time to practice. So I have a couple of practice problems on the next slide, and you can use one of the strategies that we just went through to help you find the perimeter of those rectangles.